All right, welcome everybody to Spirit Moves. You may see me have to run to the side and let somebody in if they're late coming in, but that's just part of the process. So I'm going to get rid of my socks and I'm going to dance with my bare feet. I kind of like this class mostly to do it in bare feet because I have a feeling of more grounding to the floor, and my floor is smooth, so you guys may be on carpet, I don't know, but all in all, I'm recording the class so that you will be able to have it and I will send it to you. And so I start from the beginning. So I always start this class with some of the explanations that need to happen with it as we begin the class and get into the movements and get into the warm-ups that we're going to be learning, etc. So welcome. So what I want you to do is let your inhibitions at the door, and I want you to totally free yourself and bring yourself into your space and really release in movement tonight. And that's what we really want to do. So breathing is one of the most important things that we work on with a lot of what I do in this class. Now, I don't hone on it a lot through the class. Like, I'm not beating you down about, hey, you need to keep breathing. I do it once in a while and I talk about it, but I want you to really focus on it. So it's a little bit of a yogic movement and dance class, just so to speak. So as you're doing the exercises or as you're doing the movements that I am going to work on and show you, and repetitively week to week we'll be going over this stuff, you need to learn that every change of movement, if I go from one side, I breathe in. If I go to the other side, I breathe out. I breathe in, out. Now, how you breathe in and out is a personal choice. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose is much harder. It takes a lot of focus. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. Well, why? Because our nostrils are very small. And so to breathe in and out through the nostrils is very difficult, especially when you're doing big movements. So, that being said, it's the most challenging. If you want to attain the most challenging way to breathe in and breathe in and breathe out through your nose. Okay, that being said, I don't mind if you breathe in on one movement through your nose. Breathe out through your throat. In through the nose, out through the throat. And what it's actually doing is making you focus. It's making you focus on the breathing in through your nose. What does that do? Well, it actually brings us down. It brings us down into the earth. It brings us into a focus that's very minute and very subtle. And it makes us have to be aware of that subtlety. And we go through our day and we're doing 5 million tasks all the time. We're on our phones, we're in Facebook, we're promoting something, we're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And half the time we're not aware of how we're breathing through all of it. Breath is what we carry every day. Breathing is what we do every day. Breathing is what we do every moment of our life. So how can that not be important? But we neglect to pay attention to it. So yes, that's something that you need to work on in this class with the dance movements. Okay, so we're going to start with a head, shoulders, rib cage, hips, legs into the floor, kind of a warm-up. Then I'm going to start into a longer warm-up that we're going to learn. It's kind of like a little mini routine. Then we're going to transfer to a routine that we're going to work on every week and we're going to build upon. So bear with me if you're new to all of this, because it is definitely new to a lot of people, but just follow along, do the best you can. Now, some people have breathing incapabilities like asthma, or they have shorter breath work. That's okay. You can breathe in shorter, faster motions, like if you want to breathe in and out on each movement, Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth, or breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose. In each movement, you can do 2 breaths, and that's okay too. So what I'm saying to you is find your groove. Find your way of breathing through doing the movements in dance. So that is going to be challenging. Needless to say, it's going to be a focus for you. And perfection of the movements, I don't even care. I want you to just flow and try and do, and you're not going to get everything right or perfect or on spot or on time, but that's okay. We're not here to be perfectionists at it. We're here to learn, to grow, to move, and to breathe. Okay, enough of my speeches. So we're going to start with the head. We're going to breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. I'm going to do head exercises that go up, breathing in and breathing out, down. Going left, breathing in, going right, breathing out. So every change of the movement, you breathe in on one, you breathe out on another. We're going to do shoulder lifts and drops. And lifts, breathing in, breathing out. We're going to do lifts, breathing in and rolling, breathing out. And lift, breathing in and rolling, breathing out. Just to give you some examples of what's going to happen here. Chest release, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to be going side to side with those energized, and we're going to be rolling, breathing in. So when we do anything that has a circular roll to it, whether it's the head, whether it's the rib cage, whether it's your hips, you're going to breathe in on half of it, breathe out on the second circular motion. Breathe in and breathe out. Same with the head. Breathe in for half. Breathe out for half. Breathe in and breathe out. So I want you to experiment with this, because you're not going to get it, like it's not going to be perfect, and there's no set standard. But the action of the breathe in on half, breathing out on half of the movement is what you need to focus on. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Now you're not going to hear me breathing in and breathing out. You're going to see me doing this stuff. Your job is to, as you're doing the motions and watching me and following me through, the first warm-up that we do is basically a follow me. And you might have to stop and look and see what am I doing and come back to me and do it. And don't worry, I usually try and do 8 to 16 repetitions of the exercises that we're into anyways. So you have a little bit of time to get used to it. Again, I'm going to try and repeat this over the weeks so you get comfortable with it and following in this way. The next exercise set that we do, we're going to learn it together. We're going to go through it together, and of course the routine. Okay, that being said, let's get moving. I've talked enough. I do a little bit of talking. I need to at the beginning. All right, let's try this out. warm up, number one. So whenever you see me doing this and this, usually it's breathing in and breathing out. So sometimes, and I didn't mention that probably at the beginning like I should have, but whenever you see me going this with a finger or this with the finger, it's just telling you to breathe in and breathe out and just reminding you to do that sort of thing throughout all the movement. It's very normal. See, I've danced my whole life and I've taught for many, many years. And it is of the understanding that most of us, when we're focusing on details and we try to do something difficult, whether it's studying, it can be doing a dance movement that's really hard, it can be just doing an activity, we tend not to breathe through it. We tend to focus so hard that we shut off our breath. We shut off our lungs, and then we end up going into hyperventilation, we get panicked, and all of that stuff starts to escalate. So one of the biggest things that I love and that I have grown to love and need to put more into the work that I'm doing is about breathing. So that being said, not to harp on it, we are going to go into the next exercise, set of movements that we're going to memorize. So this one, I need to face the back wall so you can follow me on it. So what we're going to do is the music starts off and we're only going to go into 4 counts of it. So we're going to hold 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we get moving. So we're going to start with the right side first. We're going to go after the first counts. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and step to the side, lift the left leg, and you drop your right arm. So you go bend, step, 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 bend. 1, 2, step, lift. 1, 2, step, lift. 1, 2. So basically I'm pulling down to the right or I'm pulling down to the left with the arms. The opposition arm is in the sky. Up, so my leg is going up. The opposite arm, my right arm is going down to the floor, but it's pulling my left side up. So you have to feel that energy of dropping one side of your body and lifting the other. So we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. So we do it 4 times, 4 in total. Let's try that again. So we're going to hold 4 beats of the music first. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and step, pull, step, 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 pull, step, 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 down, step, 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 down, step, step. Good, that was 4 sets. Now we're going to do what's called singles. So the single pull downs go like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you basically step and you pull down, you step and you pull down. So we go step, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down. Now to get a bit of detail with this, it can be very simple and relaxed. Your foot coming up can be pointed. Okay, for those who want to challenge, point your foot. If you're just getting the movement and trying to be moving through it, just get the movement and just relax the foot as you lift it. Either way, it's still the same thing, but you're going to challenge yourself a little further or not. Now, when I pull down the hand, the palm is to the ceiling. When I bring this arm up to the sky, the wrist is to the roof. If I pull down on the opposite side, the palm is to the ceiling, and the opposite wrist is to the roof. And then I pull down, palm is up, wrist to the roof. And pull down, and pull down, and pull down. So you have to think of grabbing something and pulling it down for the palm to be up. So that's the kind of thought process. So let's go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and step, pull, step, 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 pull, step, 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 pull, step, 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 pull, step, step. That's 4 of them. Now we're going to do 4 singles. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, this foot is up. So it finishes up. We're not going to hold that long, obviously. Up, you're going to go front, back, front, step, step. Now we're going to reverse to the opposite corner with the left leg. Rock forward, back, forward, step, step, forward, back, forward, step, step. Push through your arms, reach back, contract, push through your arms, step, step. It can be as simple or as complex as you want to make the movements. But facing front, just to show you, I go, it's called a triple step. So I'm rocking forward, back, forward, and then step, step to go to the other corner. Forward, back, forward, and step, step to the opposite corner. And I'm doing 4 of those, 4 sets. So you got to count as we do this. 1, 2, 3, step, step, triple step. 1, 2, 3, step, step. 1, 2, 3, step, step. 1, 2, 3, step, step. Good. Okay, so I'll face the back again so you can follow along. So starting from the top, when I do this to my head, it means starting from the top. So we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and step, pull 1, 2, step, pull 1, 2, number 3, pull 1, 2, 4 and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, forward, back, forward, step, step, forward, back, contract, forward, step. And you can make these movements really big, chest out, contract back, chest out, step, step, 1, 2, 3, step, step. Good, so that's the beginning of this little warm-up, is that part right there. So let's try with music so you can hear how the music plays and play with the movements. All of this class is a lot of playing with movement and your body and working yourself as maximum, minimum as you feel. So you need to really use it to your advantage that way. It's not about perfection. Okay, so let me find my song that I do this warm-up to. I'm sure I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so as soon as I pressed play, the music begins and you're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and single, 2, 3, 4, forward, back, forward, step, step, forward. Okay, so that's how it's going to go, but you'll hear the music and you'll know what I'm saying. It makes no sense, probably Chinese right now. Here we go. Oh, here we go. See, it starts right away. That's where we go. rhythm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you hear that beat in the music, but you're also hearing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So at the same time as we're doing the steps, we're experimenting and we're playing with the rhythms of the music. And there's many rhythms to this music. So the step work that we do are bouncing off the syncopation. So let's try it again. You're going to hear 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and step, bend, step, 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 bend, step. Okay, here we go. Into a new rhythm. 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and ba 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 ba. You'll hear the piano and it sings to you. So this is where we are now putting movements onto the music in a different way every time. So bear with me. This is feeling and music and doing at the same time. So let's go from the beginning again. So the music goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. This is the fourth one, and 4 and 1, single 2, single 3, single 4, single forward, back, forward, step, step, 2, back, forward, step, step, 3, back, forward, step, step, 4, back, forward, step, step. So the last step I took is on my left, my right foot is free. Now, this is the next part, the newer part. Da 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 da, da 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 da. There's 4 beats that we hit, and here's how we do it. Cross, step, side, side. So we go cross, step, side, side. Step, cross, step, side, side. Step, cross, step, side, side. Step, cross, step, side, side. So don't worry about the arms. Like anytime I do arms, don't freak out. But if you want to learn, what I'm doing is throwing my hand down with the foot that's crossing. So I go 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and 5 and a 6 and 7 and a 8 and. So if I go quicker, because the piano goes ya da 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 da. So I made my feet more like what the piano is doing and just added the movements on top of it. So you just finished the 4 corners. Triple rock, 1, 2, 3, step, triple rock, 1, 2, 3, step to the side, 1, 2, 3, step to the side, 1, to the side. Da, 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 da. And da, 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 da. And 1 and a 2. And 1 and a 2. And that's where we are. That's all we're going through is the first few movements. So we're going to start back at the beginning. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and step, bend, step, 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 bend, step, 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 bend, step, step, step. That's number 4. Step, step. 1 single, 2 single, 3 single, 4 single. Rock, 2, triple step, 1, 2. Forward, back, forward, 1, 2. Forward, back, forward, 1, 2. Forward, back, forward. Piano music. Ya da da da. And ya da da da. And 1 and a 2. Step. Forward, back, step, step, step. And now we're on this foot to start with the right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. So the magic number here right now so far has been 4. Usually I work in 4s or 2s, just so you know. Right now we'll be doing every exercise in that list in 4s. All right, one more time, because I got other stuff to get to as well with you guys. So here we go from the beginning. So we go da 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 da, step da 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 da, step da 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 da, step da 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 da, step. So every time I cross to a corner, I'm counting 1 corner step, step, and 2 corner step, step, and 3 corner step, step, and 4 corner step, step. And that's the last one that I do. And then I'm going to go into a new movement or in a new segment. Good, one more time. Good job. I hope you guys are hanging in there. Remember, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a few weeks before you even like, what is going on? What are we doing? Just follow along. Keep moving your body. This is very important. All right, here we go. All right. And you're like, I still don't know what she just did, but keep on. Okay, now, so that's warm-ups. I've got lots of series of warm-ups. Body movements in sequences and combinations to learn how to move with your feet, your hands, timing. So that's what we do in the warm-ups. Warm-ups are all about basically learning how to move and dance to music and flow with energy and emotion. So this dance class is very much about emotion. You've got to attach your emotion to a lot of this. So now we're going to do our class routine that we're going to keep moving on every week to week. And this one is special. You know, why I chose this one to do this time round is because one of my students and one of my private students, that's a client of mine, and so she had a song she wanted to do. I listened to her story. I listened to the song, I listened to her story. And I went, oh, okay, so this song means something to her very much, but it's so general to a lot of people out in the world. So a part of what this class is about is taking a theme and emotion, a song, and attaching it to yourself, even though it may not have any inclination of attachment to you. So you may not have had any personal experience with this song or the theme, but what you have to do is put yourself in someone else's shoes. So that is what this class is all about too. Taking yourself and putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Hey, we don't get that chance. Half the time we feel alone in our own shoes and that we don't have anybody to relate to our situations. But if we relate to other people's situations more often, we will understand and acknowledge and have more compassion and kindness for what other people go through. That's why I love this stuff. Anyways, so this is the song I'm going to play for you. I got to find the list. And this is what we're going to be working on as like a class routine. And you're like, I thought we just were working. No, we were working on a class warm-up. This is a class routine. Song. So here's the song, how to listen to it. Close your eyes, listen.
I put you first and you adored it. Set fires to my forest and you let it burn. Sang off key in my chorus, cause it wasn't yours. I saw the signs and I ignored it. Rose-colored glasses are distorted. Set fire to my purpose and I let it burn. You got off in the hurting when it wasn't yours. Yeah, we'd always go into it blindly. I needed to lose you to find me. This dancer was killing me softly. I needed to hate you to love me. Yeah, to love, yeah, to love, yeah, to love you. I needed to lose you to love me. Yeah, to love, yeah, to love, yeah, to love you. I needed to lose you to love me. I gave my all and they all know it. You turned me down and now it's showing. And 2 months you replaced us like it was easy. Made me think I deserved it in the thick of healing. Yeah, we'd always go into it blindly. I needed to lose you to
has modifications that you need to use. Like, you don't have to do fully what I'm doing. You can make it smaller. You can make it just little. Movements are manageable, and movements are malleable, and movements need to change, so make it to the best of your ability. So, that being said, we're going to start into this little routine together as we go on. I thought it resonated with me too. Even though it's not a situation, she explained a situation to me that expresses why she loves this song. You listen to it and you get so much from it, everybody can get so much from it that you're like, put yourself in someone else's shoes. If it doesn't resonate with you, you have to learn to see it in a different perspective. So, here we go on the beginning. So I have to bring it back to the beginning to help myself feel it again.
You promised the world and I fell for it.
So you hear the piano in the background. It's got beats. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are how the beats go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is how we go. I'm gonna face. Good question. I just had to question myself. So I want you to face your back wall. So if I'm facing this way, this is considered my front. Most of the dance routine is going to occur to the front. And the reason for that is I like you to follow me from behind, so you're following my movements and dancing the way we would normally. So the beginning of this routine, if that's your front, you gotta face the back. That's my back. It's looking at you. So, facing your back wall, what you're gonna do is you're going to brush away to the right, brush away to the left, okay, on the first 2 beats. So the piano goes bing, bing, and then I step forward on my right foot, and the piano goes bing, bing, like that. So if I was facing the back wall, so you can just see, pretend this is my back wall when it's really not my back wall, but 1, 2, 3, 4, you're gonna turn on a silent beat. There's no beat, there's no piano. Turn, walk right, left. Okay, so now that's my front. You guys are my back wall. And I go 1 to the right, 2 to the left, 3, 4, silence, 5, 6. And I walk right, left. And now this is where I'm going to dance mostly to the front. Occasionally I'm going to face the back, which is you guys. So you have to learn the beginning part facing your back wall. So you got to learn it. So listen and hear as I do it. And you might need to watch me for a second before I start the routine so you can go, oh, I get it. I get what's going on here. Just because we don't have a mirror and we don't have a studio room.
You promised the world and I fell for it.
Okay? Let's try it again.
I put you first and you adored it. Set fires to my forest and you let it burn. You promised the world and I fell for it.
Okay.
I put you first.
So, a lot of the movements too in this routine that we do are going to be working on the words and not so much counts. Now, normally when I teach dance class, you'll hear me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But because this is contemporary, emotional word play with dance, it's different. And so work with it. So the music starts. Boom, 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 boom. Turn, walk, walk. Then I go, she says, you promised the world and I fell for it. See what I do? Okay, so you go rock, step, walk, walk and drop. So you're going right, left, down with your hand, like you throw something on the floor, okay? So you go, you promised the world and it fell for it, okay? So that's what she says, and that's what you do. You promised the world and you fell for it, okay? So let's go back, you facing your back wall, and hey, it's okay if you want to face the front the whole time and go here, 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 here. Don't do any turn and go right, left. You promised the world and you fell for it. So you see how I didn't add a turn or facing the back wall? I kept the whole thing to the front. That is okay too. All right, play around with it. Here we go. We're not doing a show, by the way. We're just doing it.
You promised the world and I fell for it. I put you first and you adored it. Set fires to my forest.
One more time, just to get that beginning part. Here we go. Face your back wall. 1.
You promised the world and I fell for it. I put you first and you adored.
All right. Okay, so that's the beginning. Now, next little part. You promised the world and it fell for it. Then you go cross. You're going to cross your right foot, half turn, facing your back wall. Touch the right foot behind. Take your right hand and make a finger and point, and then pull it around to the front, your front. Okay? Because she talks about making you number one. Okay? So I go, you promised the world and I fell for it. This is it, when I throw my hand down. Then in the silence of the music, 1, 2. And she goes, I put you first. Okay, so that's the next part. So you go, right foot, I promised the world and I fell for it. In the silence, she turns, I put you first, like that. So how did I do that? Here's for it. And in the silence, after it goes it, there's 2 beats. Boom, boom. Cross, turn on that boom, boom. So you take your right foot, you put it behind your left. I put you first, like that. And you'll see what happens next, but later. But later, we're doing this really piece by piece because it's very going to be emotional and it's very going to be different. This is different than what I've done before, so bear with it. 1.
You promised the world and I fell for it. I put you first and you adored it. Set fires to my forest and you let it burn. Sing on.
I put you first and you adored it. So that's where you go. I put you first, and then we'll move on next week, and you adored it. That's would be the next part, but we're going to stop right there. Good. So as we do a little warm down now, we're just going to warm down the body, move through, and that's all for today. And I'll see you guys next week, and we'll continue on with all this craziness. All right, so let's do this. Roll through the spine. Other way, roll through the spine.
Hi,
Oh, we're wrong playlist. Okay, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. So have a great week. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.